Hey Internet, have you fallen into a YouTube hole searching for a video that features movie talk that's overly pedantic, combined with 1980s state-of-the-art, in-your-face 3D entertainment technology, featuring all the classics such as Broomstick and Camera, Snake on a Wire, Eyeball on a Wire?
This 3D is incredible.
Well, boy oh boy is it your lucky day, because it's that time again to dive into the next installment of the Voorhees saga. So hold on to your butts while we determine exactly what the rules are for surviving Friday the 13th. Part 3. Now, before we explore the cause and consequences surrounding each death in Part 3, let's take a quick look at the rules we have so far, and I think this week's visiting cinema scholar, Mr. Ice Cube, perfectly outlines a few vices that should be particularly avoided if you wish to make it to the end credits.
Love to drink booze, smoke weed with kids, and fuck anything with a big ass and jeans.
I can't tell you how much that it saddens me to learn Channing Tatum is going to get murdered by Jason if they ever run into each other, but them are the breaks when you dress like this. First up is Harold, whose genius comedic hijinks have been delighting audiences for years. Who could ever forget his classic gags like eating fish food, inventory quality control, and crushing watermelons? Right off the bat, we have a double rule breaker, as he also takes a swig off some random booze while dropping a number 2. Okay, this guy's just gross. Personally, I think Jason was performing a public service with that meat cleaver to the chest. Then we have Harold's beautiful wife, Edna, who blatantly ignores an obvious sign of impending death. After she watches a news broadcast highlighting the murders of Part 2 that very clearly states the killer is still on the loose, this happens.
Doing out there?
Okay, just to recap the facts, this is Harold, and this is Jason.
There's not much resemblance.
There's no resemblance at all!
Your survival instincts just have to be a little bit more on point than that. Or then again, maybe Jason was just trying to up her brain power with the stabbing through the head. Next up, we have a trio of gang members, Fox, Loco, and Ali, who get their kicks hanging around convenience stores and harassing the local youth. These three are inspiring a new rule: turn in your colors. Being a member of a gang is seldom a good idea in cinema. One simply needs to watch movies like RoboCop, Judgment Night, or Gran Torino to see that things typically don't work out well for gang members. So all three of them get hit, breaking new rule number 10, with Ali also getting struck with a drinking charge, and Loco is being called out specifically for his sheer lack of brain power when he's caught smoking around open gasoline and just completely ignoring the fact that Fox's dead body is hung up right beside him with a pitchfork. What's up with the people in Part 3? It's like they all need a trip to the optometrist.
What do you think now, dear?
Thinking of getting thicker glasses.
After 5 kills, we finally get to the first of this installment
Meddling kids.
with Vera, who plays a pretty straight-laced game, except for one small moment during the van trip to Higgins Haven that she tickles the skunk. Sorry, Vera, but hey, at least you are forever immortalized as the first kill Jason makes with his new hockey mask. Good job, Vera. Then we have Andy, who outside of being able to walk on his hands and putting on the third most impressive juggling display I've seen after Jareth and D'Angelo, I can't tell you a damn thing about him personality-wise. All these punk kids are starting to meld together for me at this point. Rules-wise, he does inhale some dinky dow during the van ride of death, and later on it's half of Part 3's only breaking of rule number 1. At least we get to see him walk on his hands one more time before he meets his maker. And we have Debbie, who was the other half involved in violating rule number 1, which led to her getting stabbed through the back. Like her boyfriend Andy, she's a little bit bland, so not much to say about her other than I don't really think she's pregnant. Come at me, Internet. And for all of you Friday fun fact fanatics out there, she can be seen reading a Fangoria magazine article praising Tom Savini as the new master of magical makeup. And if you don't know who he is, well, he is the man.
Now that is one cool motherfucker.
Going from 2 characters with little personality to one with an overabundance, we have Shelley, who is known for his love of acting, along with the fact that he is, well, he is a classic clown character, complete with pranks and complaining about not receiving the proper change.
Hey, that was a 20.
So despite all his flaws, hey, at least he had personality, but I really wasn't complaining when Jason ended up slitting his throat. Then we come across Chuck and Chili. Do I really need to state the obvious of what they're guilty of here?
Smoking, snorting, shooting, sucking, toking.
These are one-dimensional characters at their finest, as they spend practically the entirety of their screen time blazing up some broccoli.
Hey, the van's on fire!
And all you two are gonna do this weekend? Smoke dope?
Why not, man? Is there a law against it?
There are better things to do with your life.
Like what?
I can't think of anything.
Heavy shit.
I'm not going to let anybody hurt you.
Well, Chili, you aren't going to be able to do much protecting after you get stabbed with a fireplace poker, and old Chuck gets thrown into an electrical box. You might say Jason sparked a doobie of his own there. Get it? With the sparks and the marijuana reference and the... Okay, moving on. Then we have Rick. Earlier when I said there was only one instance of breaking rule number 1, I was talking about in the sense of actually getting it on and banging a gong. Rick is guilty of breaking rule number 1 because he is constantly trying to get into Chrissy's pants.
Rick,
So what I think we should do is set aside 3 hours a day to fulfill our needs. 1 in the morning and 2 at night.
Well, that's a start.
Could you just slow down, please? There's a whole weekend ahead of us. Let me get to know you again.
Okay. There's only so many cold showers I can take.
Stay with me.
Why should I?
The words that they say sound passive but seem aggressive. I feel like there should be a term for that, like nicey meanie.
Let's not forget this little ditty of dialogue either.
You realize, of course, that I gave up an opportunity to spend the weekend with Mary Jo Conrad.
Sorry, but not sorry, Rick. Being one of Dim Dare preverts is just as bad as actually getting it on in Jason's eye. I get it because it's an eyeball. Yeah, moving on. That leaves us with Final Girl. Oh shit, Ali is still alive. Oh wait. Okay, I don't think he's going to be getting up after that. Let's go ahead and add Use Your Brain to Ali's list of offenses, bringing his tally up to 3. That was not a sound strategic tactic he employed there. Okay, now on to Final Girl Chrissy, who, as far as the rules go, is completely clean, and she goes balls to the walls in attacking Jason. There's definitely no knocking her attack skills.
The eyes of a violent, caged animal, of a fucking killer.
But there is just something about her relentless crying and screaming and grunting that just really grinds my gears.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
But in the end, that really doesn't matter as she defeats Jason, even if she goes batshit crazy in the process. Time now to count up all the different rules broken in Part 3. Well, this is certainly a strange occurrence, as there were more instances of pot smoking than sexy time in Part 3. I really don't know what to think of that, other than maybe just because this was made prime in the middle of Reagan's war on drugs. I don't know, Internet, your guess is as good as mine on that one. A fairly even movie, though, with no real runaway winner. Now for the series recap up to this point, rule number 1, keep it in your pants, still in the lead with 14, but rule number 4, no hanging with Puff, sneaking up on it with 11. Rule 5, stick with Shirley Temples, and rule 6, use your brain, are getting a little bit of separation from the pack, but they definitely have quite a bit of ground to cover to catch up with rule number 1. That is it for this installment, but we will be back soon with part 4, and remember, have fun storming the castle.